everything.
To think that we have more on this. Let us know what you think about this night. Hashtag Fear of the Dark on Twitter. I can't imagine that it's anything other than, oh my God, lighting up the Twitter feed.
Match wasn't initially on the card, as both of their opponents unable to make the trip to the St. Louis area today for one reason or another. Airwolf was supposed to be taking on Zachary Wentz, as fan favorite Warhorse Jake Parnell was supposed to be taking on the Puma King.
An unfortunate situation leads to one hell of a contest here tonight, as the Warhorse is going to go one-on-one with the Airwolf. Bit of an animal fight that we have in front of us, if you will.
This match brought to you by the Rock and Wrestling Podcast. Nick's Rock and Wrestling Podcast. Go find it on iTunes and everywhere else you can hear a podcast. Mixes his love of both rock and roll and wrestling to give you unique interviews each and every week. Find it on Twitter, Nick's RNW Podcast. Been a guest on that podcast multiple times now, and I know some of the other big-time interviews that Nick has had on his podcast. Go check it out, Nick's RNW Podcast on Twitter. He's sponsoring a good one here today.
Jake Parnell, a little fake out to the crowd here. I bet both these guys have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. They both thought that they were going to get a chance to show what they could do against a world-renowned talent. One in Puma King, the other in Zachary Wentz. And unfortunately, the wildfires out west, hashtag thoughts and prayers to all of them out there. But they could not make it here because of that. And so it leaves these two guys without opponents. They have to face one another. It's going to be a fantastic contest, but I imagine both of them probably have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder about the subject, and a big chop from Airwolf. He's not playing around.
Airwolf, probably the fastest rising star in all of Glory Pro. A young pup, if you will.
When you get personally endorsed by Jimmy Jacobs, for my money, one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time on the independent scene, which he was at one of our Collinsville shows. Look at the strike exchange here. That'll rocket you right up the charts in my book. And Airwolf has been nothing but impressive since that match against Jimmy Jacobs.
You're absolutely right. He got the endorsement from him. Talked with Sean Davari, who he trained Airwolf up at the academy in Minneapolis. Had nothing but good things to say about him. He's one of the most prized talents to come out of the academy, out of Minnesota.
Absolutely. And he shows it every time why when he comes here and steps into a Glory Pro ring. But the Warhorse, Jake Parnell, he didn't have superstar training. He didn't have help from former WWE superstars. He didn't have an endorsement from Jimmy Jacobs. He's had heart and determination, and he's gone everywhere and broke his body and plied his craft, and that's where he's gotten here today. Big stomp's not hitting.
Parnell's had a very unique 2018. If you want to go back and look at how things, ended in 2017, started in 2018, pretty much the same. He was feuding with Gary J for what seemed like a year.
It seemed like forever. It seemed like it forever. Those two were destined to fight forever. And in the middle of it, they go to CZW. They have last man standing matches. They have each other's face ripped off with a turnbuckle. I mean, what didn't happen to this man in 2018? And he kept getting up and kept continuing to ply his craft. And here he is, plying his body right on top of Airwolf.
And finally came to an end with Warhorse getting that number one contenders match, winning that number one contenders match, and getting to face the champ, Kurt Stallion, in Kurt Stallion's first title defense back at Horsepower. And you were able to see Kurt Stallion come out on top of that one, but Warhorse had his chances throughout the match. He was just inches away from
one
victory.
Hell of a fight from Warhorse, and he definitely proves that he needs to be there in the conversation of the title hunt. Now he finds himself right back at the bottom of the barrel. And again, I bet he's a little bit angry because he thinks, well, at least tonight I'm going to get to square up with Puma King, a world-renowned talent from Mexico, and then he has to fight the young pup, as you called him, Airwolf, here tonight. And you can kind of see a little bit of a nasty streak in him here throughout this match because of that.
Airwolf has been he's been getting those marquee matches here in Glory Pro as of late. The bookers are noticing that the fans love him and the hard work that he's putting into that ring. Losing to DJZ at last month's Unsanctioned. DJZ, a veteran of many different promotions and companies throughout the country.
You can see him on a lot of Powerbomb favorites, AIW, Freelance Wrestling. You can see it all here. Powerbomb.tv. You can see how great DJZ is. And DJZ tonight gunning for that title.
Airwolf just flips, lands right back on his feet. Warhorse goes with the cover and a kick out.
But again, you're Jake Parnell, and you're looking to get back into that title hunt, and maybe not exactly the way to do that. The guy that just lost to the number one contender, unfortunately for Parnell. But he can cement himself as the top guy here. He can come out here and get a great statement win over Airwolf. And for Airwolf, I think he's right back in that spot. He can get a victory over the guy that just took the champion to the limit. So he is probably not as upset as a Jake Parnell. And you see that he's fighting this thing tooth and nail. Jake Parnell has a little bit of a nasty streak in him here.
I haven't really seen Airwolf get into much of a chop battle, but if you go back and you watch Horsepower, Kurt Stallion and Warhorse just went to town on each other. They were bruised. They were red when that match was over.
He kicked him out of the ring. Yeah, if you're going to go in there with Jake Parnell, you got to be ready to throw some hands. I don't care who you are or what your style is. You're going to end up slapping each other around at some point. Slick entrance from Airwolf there. Strikes him right down to the ground. In control here after that very slick little interception there from Airwolf.
Trying to pick the other up into a suplex. No luck so far. There we go. Parnell gets him up. Nope. What's Airwolf going for here?
A lot of posturing here from Airwolf and Jake Parnell. Nice creative offense here from Airwolf. He throws a lot of different looks at you. It's something that, Jake Parnell's a guy that he's seen it all, done it all, but when you throw those different little bits of offense, just like this, at him, then big shooting star. You throw those different offensive, it just throws you off your game. When you see those attacks coming at you in ways you've never seen before, you see Parnell getting frustrated.
He's angry. He's the veteran in the ring here. He probably expected to have this match wrapped up by now.
And Parnell, while he is technically the veteran here, he is still, he's not exactly even reached his prime yet. I think because he travels as much as he does, because he's seen as much earth as he does, he wants to be in that same consideration as some of the other guys that have traveled from here and really made this town a staple for independent wrestling. And he's right on the cusp of it, but he still has a little bit of ways to go. And he may find that out tonight when he thinks he's going to be the veteran and punish a young guy like this, but in fact, he's having a little bit tougher go of it than he probably thought.
Big miss on that drop kick off the turnbuckle. Use that hashtag Fear of the Dark if you're enjoying the action that you're seeing here today Let us know your thoughts on this match and the other matches that we've seen throughout the afternoon.
Big lariat.
Dylan
from Jake
Waco
Parnell.
weighs in. 2 count. Airwolf to be the 2019 Warhorse.
I like that call from Dylan Waco. I think what he's trying to say, he's summed it up in 180 characters. I'll expound upon it. You know, Warhorse had a very career resurgence by going everywhere, doing everything. I think that's what you're going to see from Airwolf. Airwolf is going to start popping up everywhere that he possibly can, and he's going to be the type of guy that you give him a spot. I don't care if you give him one-on-one against your champion. If he's in a battle royal, he's going to show out because he's a professional and he is a top guy. And he's going to start to prove it everywhere he goes.
Running uppercut from Airwolf. He gets thrown now into the corner. Oh, power bomb into a pinning combination. Not enough, though, for Jake Parnell, the Warhorse, to finish off.
He had him wrapped up in a very, very tight package there, too. That's something that you can't overlook. It's something maybe when you're watching a match, you don't think about little things like that, but that was a fantastic cover from Jake Parnell. He had him wrapped up real, real tight. It probably took everything Airwolf had left to kick out of that. Signature chops.
Right to the side of the neck.
Just barbaric. Just a different way of attacking with the forearm. Ooh, that's a different way of attacking with your foot right to the face. Snap German. He's got Warhorse reeling.
Modified German suplex there by Warhorse. Goes for the running clothesline, misses. And both men knocking each other out.
This is exactly what we thought it was going to be. Two guys going in there trying to prove themselves. And Airwolf is fighting from underneath, proving he deserves that spot. Warhorse proving that he deserves to be the top guy here. And both guys are now on their back trying to fight up and stay in this thing.
That's all the referees count of 10 to get to their feet. Both men slowly getting there.
Ooh, they're throwing those headbutts.
Stops before he gets to the count of 9.
Jake Parnell has something about him. He does not care about his own well-being. He will throw himself at his opponents. He will use his head. He will do some things that maybe in 2018 with science would suggest is not smart to get a victory.
Big slaps to the chest.
Bad dog!
Bad dog, he says as he slaps him across the chest.
Airwolf letting him know that he's a wolf, not a dog.
He's taking punishment from the Warhorse here. Barely has the strength to fight back. You see he did not have it in that lariat there. Capturing the head.
Oh, an Airwolf.
Smart maneuver from Airwolf, getting some grounded. Now he's looking to fly, maybe.
Oh!
Through the bottom rope as he used himself like a javelin, sending Parnell into the second row.
Quickly throws him back into the ring, trying not to waste much time.
Very smart.
He's going to head to the top rope. What's Airwolf thinking? Big drop kick.
Airwolf has got Parnell reeling here.
Got to work on getting that pin.
He wants to end it.
Jawbreaker by Parnell. He's got Airwolf dazed.
Spanish fly, he trapped him. Woo, that was close. Spanish fly, a counter to the clothesline. Jake Parnell was looking to hit him with that clothesline. Airwolf used the momentum to carry him all the way over into a slam. Now the crowd chants, Warhorse, Warhorse, trying to get behind their man.
One match to come after this. It's our Glory Pro main event. Crown of Glory will be on the line. Kurt Stallion defending against DJZ.
After everything we've seen tonight, I can't imagine what those guys are going to do in the main event here to capture that title and retain it.
Tweet us your hashtag Fear of the Dark. Let us know who you got in that main event, Kurt Stallion or DJZ. match will be coming up next.
Hear that headbutt all the way back here connect.
Oh, just
Sickening.
picks him up by the throat and takes him to that second turnbuckle.
Cielo trying to get control of this. They need to get off of those turnbuckles. Headbutt to the back.
Hey.
Uh-oh. Double stomp.
Oh, no.
Double stomp.
Oh,
Coming
no.
right up.
Ah!
There it is. Face first into the mat. That's it.
Right on the back of the neck for Airwolf.
Parnell wants to dish out a little bit more punishment here. He's looking for another one.
They go for it again. He got it
He
again.
nails it again.
It's
That's got to
over.
be it.
1, 2, 3. And he puts the young pup down. Jake Parnell, the Warhorse, with the victory over Airwolf in this singles competition, putting himself right back into the mix for that Crown of Glory Championship, positioning himself for a stellar 2019.
One hell of a showing from Airwolf, though. Unfortunately, sometimes he's going to have to start turning those great showings into W's to stick around. The same thing we talked about with Jake Something earlier, but he's certainly earning the respect and the eye of everybody in that locker room, including Warhorse there. As you know, you can't go to war with somebody like that and not earn their respect. Great show of respect there between Warhorse and Airwolf. And unlike the other times tonight, he does not blast his opponent in the face. Those guys really do have a huge amount of respect for one another.